Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to Nine Nar Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book, Master Your Mindset: How to Get What You Truly Deserve by Mindset Reading Positions. Mindset as the hidden operating system behind goals, habits, and self-worth. Rather than treating success as a matter of luck or raw willpower, the book centers on the idea that what you consistently believe and rehearse internally becomes what you tolerate, pursue, and ultimately achieve. It frames deserving not as entitlement, but as a practical shift in standards, decisions, and daily behaviors. Readers can expect a motivational, action-oriented approach that emphasizes clarity, personal responsibility, and the removal of limiting stories that keep people stuck in cycles of underperformance. The theme is self-leadership, learning how to direct attention, reframe setbacks, and build a mental environment that supports progress. The book also speaks to the modern desire for alignment, wanting results that match values, not just external achievement. For anyone who feels capable of more but repeatedly falls short, it offers a structured push to rebuild confidence and follow through. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, redefining what you deserve through standards and self-worth. A central topic is the difference between wishing for better outcomes and truly believing you are allowed to have them. The book frames deserving as a standard you enforce, not a reward you wait for. That shift matters because people often accept relationships, work situations, and routines that contradict their stated goals. By focusing on self-worth, the author encourages readers to examine the internal rules that shape what they tolerate, such as settling, procrastinating, or over-explaining themselves. The message is not that confidence appears first and action follows later. Instead, it suggests that evidence builds through repeated choices that reflect higher standards. This can include making clearer boundaries, choosing smaller but consistent commitments, and treating personal promises as seriously as professional ones. The idea is to move from wanting approval to building self-respect. Readers are guided to notice how low expectations create self-fulfilling results, while higher standards create pressure to level up skills, habits, and environments. In this sense, deserving becomes a practical mindset that can be trained through daily decisions. Secondly, identifying and replacing limiting beliefs that sabotage progress. Another major topic is how limiting beliefs operate quietly under the surface. The book highlights how thoughts like "I am not ready," "I always fail," or "success is for other people" can feel like facts, even when they are only patterns. These beliefs influence behavior by narrowing perceived options and lowering effort at key moments. The author pushes readers to spot recurring mental scripts, especially those tied to fear of rejection, fear of failure, and fear of being seen. The approach encourages replacing vague self-criticism with specific observation. Instead of labeling yourself as lazy, for example, you analyze what triggers avoidance, what emotions appear, and what you do next. This creates space for deliberate reframes that are believable and actionable. The book also emphasizes that belief change is reinforced by small wins, not just positive thinking. Taking a tiny step, finishing a task, or having a difficult conversation provides proof that the old story is not fixed. Over time, the reader learns to treat the mind as a tool to manage, not a judge to obey. Thirdly, turning mindset into outcomes with disciplined daily habits. Mindset is presented as incomplete without systems. The book stresses that confidence and success depend on repeated behaviors that reduce reliance on motivation. A key theme is building a routine that supports consistency, setting priorities, using time intentionally, and creating friction for bad habits while making good habits easier. The author frames discipline as self-care rather than punishment, because it protects future you from the cost of repeated indecision. Readers are encouraged to focus on controllable inputs like effort, learning, and planning, instead of obsessing over external validation or perfect conditions. The topic includes the idea of momentum. Small actions done daily compound into identity change. If you repeatedly show up, even imperfectly, you become the kind of person who follows through. The book also implies that habit building works best when paired with clear reasons and realistic pacing. Instead of extreme overhauls that collapse, the reader is nudged towards sustainable changes that fit real life. The result is a mindset that is anchored in behavior, making progress measurable and more resilient. Fourthly, emotional control and resilience under pressure and setbacks. The book places strong emphasis on managing emotions as part of mastering the mind. Progress is rarely linear, and many people quit when discomfort appears. This topic explores how to stay steady when outcomes are uncertain, feedback is harsh, or life becomes stressful. The author suggests that resilience comes from interpreting setbacks differently. Failure is treated as information and training rather than proof of inadequacy. That reframe helps reduce catastrophic thinking and prevents one bad day from becoming a lost month. The reader is encouraged to practice emotional regulation skills such as pausing before reacting, questioning assumptions, and choosing responses that match long-term goals. Another element is learning to tolerate discomfort, because growth requires awkward practice, difficult conversations, and delayed rewards. The book also points to the danger of emotional reasoning when feelings are mistaken for truth. Feeling unworthy does not mean you are unworthy, but it can still steer decisions unless you intervene. By strengthening resilience, readers can maintain consistency, recover faster, and keep pursuing what they want without being derailed by temporary moods. Lastly, taking ownership of your environment, identity, and choices. A final important topic is personal responsibility as a pathway to freedom. The book argues that mindset improves when you stop outsourcing your future to circumstances, other people, or past experiences. Ownership does not deny real obstacles, but it shifts the focus to what can be influenced right now. This includes choosing supportive environments, curating information inputs, and surrounding yourself with people who raise your standards. The author also emphasizes identity-based change. When you see yourself as a disciplined person, a learner, or a confident communicator, you start making aligned choices more naturally. The topic encourages readers to audit their current identity cues, such as how they talk about themselves, what commitments they keep, and what they avoid. It also highlights decision-making, because a life is shaped more by repeated choices than by isolated breakthroughs. By taking ownership, readers can move from reacting to life to designing it. The promise is that what you truly deserve becomes reachable when you align beliefs, actions, and surroundings into a coherent direction. In conclusion, this book is best for readers who feel stuck below their potential, especially those who set goals but struggle with follow-through, self-confidence, or consistency. It also suits anyone in a transition, such as changing careers, rebuilding after a setback, or trying to improve relationships and personal boundaries. The core benefit is practical. It helps you connect internal beliefs to external results, so you can stop repeating the same patterns while expecting different outcomes. By emphasizing standards, ownership, and daily habits, the book can improve decision-making, reduce self-sabotage, and strengthen resilience when motivation drops. It can also help readers reclaim a sense of agency, which often leads to better mental health, clearer priorities, and healthier relationships. Compared to similar mindset books that lean heavily on inspiration alone, this one is worth buying because it focuses on turning mindset into measurable behavior. The concept of deserving is tied to choices and standards, not wishful thinking, which makes the message easier to apply in real life. Readers looking for a straightforward push to think better and act better will find it valuable. If you would like to support mindset reading, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.